Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven.com, and welcome back to our Sonic Hacking Contest 2017 coverage. In this video we're taking a look at Sonic 1 Comet Edition, version 2.1 by BCasace, or BCS, I don't know. Anyway, this is a Sonic 1 hack, and it is quite a little interesting thing, this, in that it doesn't really do much with Sonic's abilities. You're basically given the control scheme and mechanics that you'd expect from Sonic 1. So there's no spin dashes, no extra abilities, nothing implemented like homing attacks and things like that you get in a lot of these hacks. It's very, cut and dry, just a very, pure Sonic experience. But what they've gone and done is edited the color palettes, stage designs, some of the graphics, just kind of put a bit of a twist on the original formula by just making really sort of interesting, challenging stages. Not too difficult, but definitely a lot more challenging than what I'd expect from a standard Sonic hack. This definitely leans a little bit more towards something aimed at more of a seasoned Sonic player. So that's a nice little thing. I do like the way it looks, actually. They've chosen a really aesthetically pleasing colour palette. They've matched the artwork very well. They've tweaked it to a degree that just makes it look original enough to stand out as its own thing. The first take on Green Hill is quite an interesting little thing in that there's a new background. It's got this sort of like sunset vibe to it. A lot of purples. Just a really a nice thing to look at. It's got to be said. There's a few noticeable artwork changes, things like the trees in particular. The background is obviously completely new, and even though that's not particularly much, it's enough to just make it look ever so slightly a little bit more like its own thing. I think once you start seeing the trees in particular, there's some really large tree trunks that appear later on in the stage. Those are really quite striking, definitely make it feel more like its own thing, kind of riffing on maybe Wood Zone from Sonic 2 Beta. Yeah, and then the second act in particular goes even further, so Marble Zone just kind of is its own thing now. It's a really cool little stage, very much sort of, I mean, they use the Scrap Brain theme for this stage, and it's obvious why. Once you get sort of underground, it becomes more like a mechanical underground sort of laboratory, and it's a really nice looking stage, I've got to say. Lots of custom artwork on this one. Again, new backgrounds, not too much changes to the foreground elements, mainly just sort of it changed to the colour palette, but the actual, the underground area definitely draws more on a more original artwork, and it's just a cool place to explore. Really cool looking stage, that one. And again, it seems to be that this game's sort of aesthetic thing that it likes doing is purple, and again, I really like the colour palette. I think it's just a nice choice. It's a really visually striking looking game. But yeah, there's not really much to write home about. Like I say, it's not really got any other interesting abilities or gimmicks of its own that it's doing. It's mainly riffing on what is already in Sonic 1, just changing the level designs and some of the imagery just enough to make it feel like its own thing. It's surprising how well this achieves that in comparison to the hack that we previously looked at, Sonic Legacy, which is kind of doing a very similar thing, just using a lot of the same assets from the original game, but tweaking them slightly to make it feel like it's an original thing. But this just achieves that a lot more successfully. I don't know what it is. There's just a really nice design choice going on with a lot of the visuals and the stage design itself that makes it feel very much like an original Sonic experience, despite the fact that it plays very similarly to Sonic 1. So yeah, a really cool little hack, this one. I definitely recommend this because I just feel like it's doing enough to make it feel unique, but at the same time not too much, like it's just enough to make it feel unique. It's not pushing its boundaries to the degree where it's over egging the pudding. There's just enough going on there, and it's a really nice little thing to play. So definitely check this out. I'm highly recommending this one. I just feel like it's a bit of a sleeper hit, maybe. So yeah, check this one out.